Hello all, this video is going to be the homework answers. So before you check the homework answers, if you have not watched the previous video of the explanation of finding the distance and using the Pythagorean theorem, please do go watch, because without watching that you will not understand anything here. As you know, in the homework session video I do not discuss anything in detail because everything is given in the explanation video, right? So, and also you know that the homework questions are quite different from the classwork ones, though the idea is same, but you will have different kinds of numbers. So take it as a challenge. It's always better to take it as a challenge so that we can do it and get all right. So let's start with the first question. Find the coordinates of the midpoint. So they're asking you to find the midpoint. So start by writing the formula of the midpoint. The formula is m, that's midpoint, equals x1 plus x2 divided by 2, comma, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, parenthesis, close that. So always write down this first, x1, y1, x2, and y2. All right, so m is going to be equal to x1 is 5 and x2 is 1, so plus 1 divided by 2. Y1 is negative 1 plus y2 is negative 5. So I put that inside the parenthesis so that I will not get confused. All right. So first I need to solve these two things first because it's plus and minus. So you know that there is an invisible one here always, right? So minus plus into minus. So 1 multiplied by negative. So that will give you a negative. Minus a plus into minus will give you minus. So that means minus 1 minus 5. So 5 plus 1 is 6 divided by 2, and minus 1 minus 5, because these two will not be there now. Minus 1 minus 5 will give us a minus 6 divided by 2. So m is going to be equal to 3 and negative 3. So the midpoint for this two coordinate, the segment is going to be 3 and 3. It was easy. Let's do question number 2. VW with endpoints V and W. So again, we have to find the midpoint. I'm not writing the equation now. Rather, I'm going to write them directly. So this is x1, y1, and this is x2, and this is y2. You need to be careful because here they gave you with the variables. So this is the value of x whole, and there's the value of y completely. So first we start by saying x1. So plus minus 2 plus. Then x2 is x plus 2. So x plus 2. We use mostly parentheses to avoid confusion so that we know this part is like clear. So y1 is minus 6 plus y2 is y plus 3. So divide that by 2 as well. Okay. Now you can see that it's minus 2 plus x plus 2. So what are you going to do here when you have such questions? All what you need to do is simplify them. Simple as that, simplify. How are you going to simplify? So this equation, if I write, it's going to be like this, minus 2 plus x plus 2. Because we are not going to multiply, we are not going to divide, subtract, nothing. So it's like this. So minus 2 plus 2 will give you a 0, right? Let me put this here. Also, let me write this also. So this is what we are going to solve. So m is going to be equal to minus 2 plus 2, that is 0. But okay, let me write 0 for now. Then we have an x, so 0 plus x. Now here, 0 does not make any sense. Usually 0 has nothing to do alone. Alone 0 has no value. Rather, if there was a number, yes, maybe. Yes, it is. But here, because minus 2 plus 2 is 0, so we don't write 0, but we have an x, so we keep x like that, divided by 2, comma, minus 6 plus 3. So minus 6 plus 3 is going to give you a minus 3. So minus 3 plus y divided by 2. Now after this, can we do anything? We don't know what are the values of x. We don't know what are the values of y, so we cannot do anything. So this is going to be the midpoint for these two coordinates. So for VW, the midpoint is going to be x over 2 minus 3 plus y over 2. I know it looks, you might think, what's this? That's all? Yes, that's all. Because further than this, we cannot solve anything. So when you cannot solve, what can we do? We just leave it like that. Okay. Now question number 3. Why is the midpoint of x z? X has coordinates 2, 4 and y has coordinates negative 1, 1. Find the coordinates. Now this question is different from the previous one. Here you need to find the coordinates, not the midpoint. The midpoint is given. So let me write the midpoint. As you know, minus 1, 1 equals, this is going to be x1 and y1. We don't know x2, y2. So we say let z be x and y. Okay. So this is going to be 2 plus x divided by 2. Then I have y1, which is 4 plus y divided by 2. Now what am I going to do? I'm going to bring all the x's together, because give the x value with the x, give the y value to y. So I'm going to separate the equations now. I'm going to write the equations now. So one part of the equation is going to be, first we have to find x. Negative x equals 2 plus x divided by 2. And the other part is going to be 1 equals 4 plus y divided by 2. So what are you going to do? Now there's another new trick you could use. If you have a number up and down, simply you can cancel them. So you can cancel this 2 with 2. It's like dividing. 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you can do that. Else, the same thing which we learned, multiply the other side with 2. So that's going to give you a negative 2 equals 2 plus x. So negative 2 plus negative 2, because plus 2 will become minus 2 will become, what am I doing? So this is minus 2, plus 2 will become minus 2 equals x. So that's going to give you a negative 4 equals x. Okay, so here again I'm going to multiply this side with, because this is divide, on this side it's divide, so when it moves to the other side it becomes the inverse, which is multiply. So this is going to be 2 ones are 2, 4 plus y, which means 2 minus 4 equals y. So 2 minus 4 is going to be negative 2 equals y. So what are the coordinates? The coordinates are going to be, so z is going to be equal to negative 4 and negative 2. So this is how you find the answer. Hopefully this part is clear. Okay. Let's move to question number 4. Use the figure for exercise 4 to 7. Find A, B. So you have to find A, B. So you can do two things. Either you use the Pythagorean theorem or you use the distance formula. I know most of you will opt for the distance formula because it's more easier. Now because anyhow you do, the answer should be the same. So I'm going to use the Pythagorean formula theorem here, because so that you will get used to Pythagorean theorem. Okay, but if you have used the distance formula, your answers are going to be the same, only the methods are going to be different. Okay, so I'm going to find the distance of AB. So to find the distance of AB, first I need to construct a right triangle. So as I told in the explanation video, just to draw lines so that they will meet at one point. So this is going to be the point where they meet. So this is going to be B, that's the down part of the triangle. If you flip the triangle, that's going to be the down part. This is going to be A and this is going to be C. So this is unsolving question number 4 here. So the Pythagorean theorem is C square equals A square plus B square, which means AB square is going to be equal to the value of A, that is from this point where the two lines meet till B. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units. So that means I will write 5 square plus. Now from this point to A, it is just 1 unit. So 1. So AB square is going to be equal to 25 plus 1, because 1 square is 1. So AB square is going to be equal to 26 So to remove the square from here, I'm going to put the numbers inside the square root. So as 26 is not a perfect square, 5 5s are 25, not 26. So because we do not have to find the perfect square for, we cannot find the square for 26, so we leave the distance AB is equal to the root of 26. Now if you would have used the distance formula, you will get the answer the same. If you have not got that, do check your calculations, something is wrong there. Okay, now I'm going to do question number 5. Question number 5 is find BC. So where is BC? BC is here. So again, I'm going to draw a triangle. See, this is the point where they both meet, right? So this is going to be B, this is going to be A, and the long part is going to be C. So C square, instead of writing C square, because I'm finding the distance, I will write BC square. BC square is equal to A square. So what's the distance of A from point C to the point where they meet? It is just 1 square. Plus B is going to be from here till this point where they both meet. So 2, 3, 4, 5. That's again a 5 square. So it's going to be the same answer. So I'm not solving it again because it's going to be the same answer. If you would have solved, you have to get this also the same as root of 26. So the length of BC is going to be the root of 26. Fine. Let's go to question number 6. Now, question number 6. You have to find the distance between C and A. So CA, first let me remove all this so that you will not be confused here. Okay. CA is here, CA. So how am I going to draw a triangle now? Just what you need to do is extend 2 lines, that's all. Move up and come here. So which is the point we have? We have the point here, where both of them meet. Okay, so C, this is going to be C. The longer part of the right triangle is going to be C. This is going to be A, and this is going to be B, because if you flip the triangle, this is going to come down. So that acts as the base, down part. Okay, now I'm going to count. I'm finding the distance of CA square, which means A. So this is A. From this point till this point, how many squares do I have? I have 4. So 4 square. Plus from this point, the point they meet, till another point, point A. How many squares do I have? I have 4 squares. So that means it's 16. So CA square is going to be equal to 16 plus 16, right? So that is going to be 16 plus 16 is going to give me a 32. So to remove the square root, what I'm going to do is I will put the number inside the square root. So again, 32 does not have a perfect square. It doesn't have a perfect square. There's no number, 2 numbers that you multiply the same, you're going to get 32. So there's nothing. So the distance between CA is going to be the root of 32. Okay, or there is, I don't know, if you think you want to learn something new, you can learn from this. Here you have 4 square, right? Now you can say that the root of no, I think it's better I avoid it. I don't want to confuse you at this stage. So you leave the answer like this. So CA, the distance between C and A is going to be root of 32. Now question number 7, name a pair of congruent segments. So which of these pairs have the same distances among them? It is AB and BC. So you could say AB is congruent to BC. Okay. So hopefully even using the distance formula, you have to get these same answers. Your answers cannot be different than this. If they are different means you need to check your answer again where you have done the mistake and correct your mistake. So let's go to question number 8. Use the distance formula to find the distance to the nearest tenth. Now this is because they're asking to the nearest tenth. That means you have to use a calculator. So no need of the calculator. So this is not related to us. Between K and L. So let's use the distance formula. the distance formula is the whole root of x2 minus x1 square plus y2 minus y1 square. So this is x1, this is y1, this is x2 and y2. Okay, so the distance between k and l. So instead of d, let's write kl. So it's going to be the whole root. x2 is -2. Then x1 is -7. So negative minus is from the question and this minus is from the coordinate. Plus y square is 0 and y1 is -4. So this negative from the formula, this negative is from the question, from the number. It's going to be square. Write it down here above the line. It's going to be square. Okay, so let's solve this part. But before we solve, you know that we need to solve these two negatives. So negative into negative will give you positive. So that means -2 plus 7. Here also it's going to be the same. Minus minus will give you plus, which means 0 plus 4. Okay. So -2 plus 7. -2 plus 7 is going to give you 5. Plus 0 plus 4 is going to give you 4 square. So KL is going to be equal to 25 plus 16. So KL is going to be equal to the root of 41. So here they said nearest 10th. That's because you will use the calculator and find out the root of 41. But as you're not allowed to use the calculator, leave your answer like this because it's not a perfect root. There are no two numbers with which you multiply, you will get 41. It should be the same. So we don't have. So we leave the answer as this KL equals the root of 41. Let's go to the next question. Use the Pythagorean theorem to find the distance. Here comes the Pythagorean theorem again. So first write down the formula. C square equals A square plus B square. So instead of C square, we could say FG because we are finding the distance between FG square. Now in the explanation video, I did explain you how to find the distances when the graph is not given. So what did I say? Find the distance between both the x's. So you have 9 and 2. Just in your mind, draw a line. Mark the center as 0. There is a positive and a negative number. So the positive number is on this side, that's 9, and the negative number is on this side, that's 4. So from 0 to 9, there are 9 units. From 0 to 2, there are 2 units, which means together there are 11 units. So it is becoming 11 square. Now, to find the value of B, I have 5 here, I have 2 here. So this is the line, here is 0. Now both of them are positive numbers, which means 2 is here and 5 is also on the same side because both of them are positive. So from 2 to 5, how many units are there from 2 to 5? There are 3 units, right? This is going to be 3 square. So FG square is going to be equal to, what is the square of 11? 11 multiplied by 11 is going to give you 121, and 3 square is going to give you a 9. So 5G square is going to be equal to 130. So to remove the square from here, we need to put the number inside the square root. Now again, 130 is not a perfect square number, so we leave the answer as root of 130. You leave the answer like that. How do you know it is not a perfect root? The perfect root for 11, 11 is going to be 121. Then the next is going to be 12, 12, which is going to be 144. So 130 is going to be between these two. So there is no perfect, 130 is not a perfect square. This is a perfect square because you're multiplying 211 times. This also is going, the answer for this is also going to be a perfect square because we're going to multiply 12, 12 two times. But 130 is not a perfect square. So I ask you to leave it like that. Let's move on to this question. Now, yes, we did not do any problem solving in the explanation video, but it's always good that you do the problem solving so you will have a chance to think because you have to keep your brain working. So snooker is a kind of pool or billiards played on a 6 foot by 12 foot table. The side pockets are halfway down the rail, so these are the side pockets. Find the distance to the nearest tenth of a foot diagonally. This is called the diagonal. You can see this. This is diagonal from one corner to the other. Across the table from one pocket to the corner pocket. So from one pocket to the corner pocket, which means if I draw this triangle, if I draw this picture again, what triangle does this part looks like? It looks like a right triangle. So which means, which one are we going to use to find the distance now? We are going to use the Pythagorean theorem. So this is going to be C, and this is going to be B, right? And this is going to be A. So I'm doing question number 10. So the Pythagorean theorem says C square equals A square plus B square, right? So we are finding the distance from here to here. That means C square. So C squared equals, how much is A? A is 12 squared plus B is 6 squared. So that means that's going to give us 144 plus 36. So C squared is going to be equal to 144 plus 36 is going to give me 180. Now again, is 180 a perfect square? No, it is not. So we put C equals root of 180, because else you will have to use your calculator, which is not allowed, as you know. So for now, it's not correct to leave the answer like this, but now because you're not allowed to use the calculator, I'm telling you, leave the answer like this. So question number 11, it was easy, only that you need to understand the question. Once you understand, then it's easy to do. If you think you did not understand this part, now you understood, try to do question 11. Pause the video, do 11, then check your answer. Find the distance to the nearest tenth of an inch diagonally across the table from the corner pocket to the side pocket. So they want you to find the distance of this. Now to find the distance of that, let me draw this triangle separately so that you will understand that better. Okay. So this is the corner pocket and this is the side pocket and here is another pocket. So this distance, you know, in a rectangle, this side is equal to this side. So that means this is also going to be 6, right? So I can write this side as 6. And if the whole length is 12, the corner pocket is half big through it. So if the whole length is 12, what is this half going to be? It is also going to be 6, right? Now I think you can use the Pythagorean theorem formula, C squared equals A squared plus B squared. Now which is going to be A? A is going to be this one, and the base is always going to be B. So C squared is going to be equal to 6 squared plus 6 squared. C squared is going to be equal to 36 plus 36. So C squared is going to be equal to 72. Now again, 72 is not a perfect square, so you leave the distance of the answer as this means the diagonal distance to be root of 72, because 72 is not again a perfect square. So this is how you need to solve. As I always said, practice makes it perfect and understanding makes it easier, right? So if you understood this question properly, you can do it easily. So hopefully your answers are right. Do comment and let me know who got all the answers right. It's all right to make mistakes, no problem. You will learn something, as I always say. So do like the video if you have understood or if you have learned something new. If you have learned many things new, okay? So till we meet again, keep practicing math.